Hello, myself Manike Santosh Boksan with a CWID of 50298966. So I'm here to present my database project on payroll management database system. So the main table of the contents in this project is like I have given an introduction like what is what about this payroll management and how we have created and the purpose of the the purpose of this payroll management database and what are the requirements that we have that we provided here and like the entities and the table creations and everything and ER diagram. So I have presented a detailed diagram of entity relationship and also creation of the tables. So I have even shown in this project like how to create each and every entity a table and how to insert the data into the table. And finally, I have wrote some queries and have shown the outputs. So coming to the main thing, the introduction. Payroll management is one of the most important database which is used by the which is used by mostly a big multinational companies, even in the small businesses also. The payroll database management is very much useful. Like they need to store the entire employees' payroll information. So they need a little bit employee information, maintaining salary and work location, everything. Employee data is very essential in order to maintain a proper record of the employees. Employee data means like employee ID and employees insurance ID and employees SSN number and employees full name, last name, everything comes in under the employees information. And maintaining the salary. Maintaining salary is very important to keep this data, which will help not only the managers track of employees, but also help the company and the work location. The work location, it is very critical for every business, large or small, to keep track of all the work sites from where they operate in order to determine they might grow in that region. Also increase hiring in that region to expand their market outreach in the area. So that is why it is very much required. And the main purpose of this database like a payroll management database is like the primary goal is like ensure that monthly payments are made on time, and a strong payroll system also aids in staff productivity, time management, and which it leads to an organization success. Entrepreneurs must be meticulous in every aspect of their business. Yeah, the requirements of this are during the research phase, we have added the following requirements based on the payroll management flow. That is, list of the entities are employee. Employee table consists of so from here, what I'm going to say about all these entities is being created as a table. Because entire thing of that employee will be stored in that employee table. So in employee table, there will be employees' personal information, such as well as a lot of employees' overall information and salary. In the salary table, all current and previous salary that have employee has or had. This table will be used to assist managers and HR in determining which employee received the promotion on what day, when salary has been shifted. And the department table stores information about all the departments in which an employee may be assigned. Account information and attendance, project, education, work location. So coming to this all these tables, attendance, these attendance tables plays a crucial role in this payroll database management system, because it has a record of how many days does the employer or employee has been attended the work, and how many days he's in the leave, and is that a paid leave, or is that a taken leave, or is that a medical leave. Anything that can be comes into this attendance, so including it has been stored everything here. And also coming to the project, this table contains information about all the projects that a company is currently working on or will be working in the future. And education table keeps a track of employees education, including the degree has earned thus far. The location, the work location, the majority of the information is contained in this table's name. This table list the location of the office, city in which he is located, the employee located, the state in which it is located, and the number of employees in which it's located. And leaves, as I said, attendance and leaves. Leaves, the number of leaves an employer takes or has taken over the course of month or year is being recorded in the leave table. And coming to this ER diagram, here in this ER diagram, I have drawn this, whereas it will show the entire relations between the entire relations between the entire relations between the attendance and employees attendance, work location, and the employee's entire information. If you can see here, uh, in this we have been stored the employee personal details like employee ID and which has been stored in int values. I'll explain it when we are creating the tables. And the first name, last name, city, state, and hire date and department, and everything is being stored in this employee table. And after we this table is joined to department, it is one to many. So many employees will work in different kind of departments, right? So here it is joined here. So department ID number and department name, what does the department he's working for, and the department has different projects. So each department will have many number of one. So it is one to many. So from one department to there has been many projects, right? So their department has a project. So department ID and project number and everything from there the table comes down. And so we have to see here the employees educational details also. Education ID, which is which education ID, which is like the roll number or something like that, and employee ID and the degree and the graduation year and everything. The salary, the main part of this is the salary. So once he'll get the account details and everything, the salary will be credited. And what is the gross salary? Every information will be stored here. So what is the gross salary and how much is getting paid for hourly, and federal tax, how much is going to be collected. He's going to be charged by the state government and everything. So here we have stored the different kind of data. So this is how the entity relationship diagram will be. And coming to the creation of the tables. Here, first thing we have created is the employee table. So we have used a statement called create to create the table name of employee. So in this employee, we can store we can take we can insert up to like employee ID and first name, last name, hire date, city, state, and constraint employee, because it's a primary key. So for each and every table there will be one primary key, and that is for this table employee ID is the primary key for this table. So coming to here, so first we created a table name of employee. So from here we will store a data, which the first thing is employee ID. The first thing is employee ID. So the employee ID, generally the ID will be in the form of numbers. So we have given a data type of int type. So we can insert the data in the form of numbers. And here the first name will be we need to enter our personal details, means it comes like ID, first name, last name, hire date, everything. So here the first name is where the first name and the last name and hire data. So for the first name and last name, we have given a data type of varchar. So here we have given a limit of 25 digits, 25 and 25 alphabets. So we can insert up to 25, and after that we have given up to 25 even for the last name. So we can store the data. We can store the name only up to 25 digits for the first name, and even for the second name we can store the last name, we can store 25 digits. And here the hire table. The hire table is hire data. Hire data means date, means when did the employee got hired for this company. So it will be stored. And after that, and it is stored as a database type of data type of data. It is a different data type which will be in SQL queries. Yeah. And in cities also, generally it will be in character type. So we have given 25 digits, city and state, varchar 25. So here the constraint is employee. The constant employee's primary key is the employee ID. So I have already told, for every table we will have only one primary key, and for this employee table we have primary key of employee ID. So, and even I have created the second table, which is department. In this department, I have stored two data type. I have stored two information about which is data department ID, and specifies the department name. What is the name of the department? So beside this, we have specified with what is what, like we can store this data in int, because it is a numerical order, it is a numericals, right? So we can store this data on int, and this is coming to this department name, it will be in the alphabet. So we have given this data type as varchar. So coming down, we have created the table called salary. So in this salary table, we have created a table called salary, and which is salary ID, gross salary, hourly pay, state tax, federal tax, account ID. Salary ID is called the thing. For every person there will be one salary ID. If you're working in your company, so you will get a one salary ID. So that salary ID will be stored in the form of that will be generally the int number. So we have given it as data type as int, and gross salary. How much gross? There will be gross and shared salary. So here, uh, how much the salary you are getting, it will be stored here, and how much you are paying, they are paying for you in the hourly basis, it will be stored in here. And the state tax, how much they have deducted from your account, that will be also stated here. And federal tax and account ID, everything will be stored in the salary table. Here in this account, in the salary table, the main constituent primary key is the salary ID, which is important because it is unique, because it is very unique. Like only you person will have the same, you will have the only one ID. Because if you have three or four, 5 persons, one person, every person will have their own salary ID. So it is only individual thing. So the main primary key here is the salary ID, because in the four other peoples, the salary may be same, maybe the hourly pay also common, the state tax will be exempted, will be common, and the federal tax, which will be, it is also common, and the account ID maybe get similar. So here the primary key is salary ID. And here after that, we have created a table called department project. For every department, for every company, there will be different kind. For every employee, the employee will work in different departments. In different departments, the people will work in different projects. So we have created to identify which project. So the table name is called, we have created the table as department project. The department project will, each department project will have one ID and project ID, department ID and project ID, which will be stored in the numerical order. So we have created this table. And here the second one is the create table on the project. For different project ID and project name, we have specified here project description. The description usually be in the form of words, right? So we have created is a varchar. And coming to this education table, so as I said, the employee in this payroll, even in this, it would be better if we store the education details of the employee, so that, because it would be helpful for any other cause. So here the education ID and employee ID. So education, employee, degree, what he does, his graduation, and graduation year, and everything. Coming to the creation table, leaves, because it's a most important table, I guess. Leaves is the like how many leaves you have in each day. So it will be calculated based on that. How many leaves you have per every month or per every year, it will be calculated on that basis. So what is the leave ID? When you are giving a leave ID, you can put it as one number as a leave ID, and employee ID, what is your ID, and leave date, when did you apply for the leave, and when did you got your leave, and primary key here is the leave ID. create table attendance and employee ID int and attendance ID int, constraint foreign key and the references. So coming to down, we have created a table called attendance and attendance ID and works we worked. How many works you have worked, and if it is hourly pay, it will be divided. It will be uh, depended or depends on the how much works you have worked. The salary will be calculated on how many works you have worked, but depends on the employer how they got hired. The employee how he got hired. He hired. If he is hired on hourly basis, his salary will be calculated on the hourly basis. If he's on a full way, then his salary will be calculated in a different approach. So here coming to the work location ID and location, number of employees working, and city, and say state. Yeah, location ID we will be stored in the int, and location, what is the exact location about that, and where is he is working, and number of employees total. Like in his office, how many employees are working? We need to specify that. That would be helpful, and the city and the state of the employee where is working. Everything will be stored here. So the account details, the main thing about this is account details. You need to, if you want to generate your payment into your bank, uh, uh, you need to save all your employees account names and account IDs, so that after the payment date approaches, it will be automatically sent into the pay will be automatically sent into the account. So here we have read the account ID and bank name and account number and employee ID, and constraint in this foreign key is employee ID. And coming to here, alter table. So we could have write these tables behind even the below of the table, but we couldn't, because after creation of every table only we can join the tables. So we can join the table, so that only we can use this alter table. So that's the reason why I have written this table, why I have written all these things the below. And coming down, insertion into the table. So this is how the statement will be after using everything. So I have inserted these values into the database. For giving an example to you, so I have used each and every these values into employees value in employees table. In employees table, I have inserted the employee ID, which is 101, and the first employee is, let it be 101, and his name is Ojas and Fanisekar, and his hire date is 2016 4th month and 14 year 14 day. So here the location is New York, and city is location, and state is New York. So similarly, I have inserted the many employee values, many employers, for giving an example. And here I have entered the department values. For every employee, there will be different kinds of departments. So where you gonna work? Like the first department, the ID will be the one, and department name will be the human resources. The thing that we have given the varchar, right, for 25 characters. So here it will allow only till the 25, because we have given 25. So like that, we have inserted each and every data into this thing. And coming to this project values, the project ID is 21, and project name is dev, and whatever you want. Like I just inserted simple things, and the education values, and what is his education ID, and his everything, and masters, what did he do, the masters, or the employer ID is this one, the 101 is the employer ID, who is this, specifying whose education is this, whose education values are this. So masters, and he completed it in 2017, and like this everything has been changed. And coming to here, attendance values, 94 and 45 is the attendance value, where here what is the ID and what is that work location. So the employer ID, location ID is 71, and North, New York City, and New York. We have specified each and everything based on the table we have inserted. And coming down, inserted attendance values and project, department project and salary. And here there are the queries that I have wrote to execute the program, so that we can directly I can directly show you how it's going to getting executed. So before this, writing the query, I need to explain about a small thing. Like after opening the MySQL, I have created a database called a database open database called payroll, and I have used it like passing a statement called use payroll. So from that, we every table has been created and the information also inserted into it, and now I'm executing the program by just passing a statements called like this. So I'll just copy this query. I will just copy this query. Give me a second. So this is the query. This is the query I have inserted here, and I will execute this now. So after this execution, we have got the employee ID and what is the first name that we have put to him, and last name, hired data, date, and the city, state, and employee ID and attendance ID. Here I'll explain about the query. Select star. So we are selecting. The queries belongs to the employee table. So we are joining the employee attendance too, like because we have specified the employees whose ID is greater than 91 will be shown here. So on employee.data, so on the left join, we have joined the employee attendance on employee.employee ID equals to employee attendance. So yeah, everything will be like this. So after this query ran, so we have got based on here where the employee attendance ID is greater than 91. So if you can see here, it is only specified, it is only shown which is greater than 91. This is 92 and 93 and 94, which is the where that's where it has shown the first name, last name, and hide the city and everything, and employee ID too. So this is how the first query ran. And so if we go to the second, and this is how even I have put the queries outputs here. So after that, we can select the query 2. This query is to display the employee ID and the first name and the last name and the degree, graduation year of the employees. So everything like this. So we'll just clear off this and we'll insert this now. Now, yeah, we have just shown the employee ID, first name, last name, degree, and the graduation year from the table called employee. And even we have joined the education ED on employee. Education joined the table called education or for this employee table ID. So this is how the output will be. And now we can move to other and other queries. We can go to the other query. It is joining the three tables, which is employee attendance, and attendance. So it will display all three fields. This is how the output will be. I'll execute this one. I'll execute this one. So here you can see the joining of the three tables. So if you can see, there is a table called employee and employee attendance and attendance and attendance ID too. So coming to here, there is an employee ID which is specified the first thing in the employee table, and the first name, last name, I had data, and the employee ID, and with this will be joined with attendance ID and attendance ID and hours they have been he worked hours worked, and everything has been shown here. And we'll go to the other query where it display the department ID, department name, and project ID, project description by joining tables department and department, project and project. So we will go and search for execute this. So once after executing this, we have got a table called department ID, department name, and project ID and project description. So here they have joined the two tables, which is department and the project. So the department, on the department number 7, project name is manufacturing. His project ID name is 21, and the project description I just gave randomly as whatever. Yeah. So this is how the queries has been executed, and I have executed every query, and I have kept the outputs too here. Yeah, this is the total thing about my database project payroll management system. Yeah, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, sir. I will be looking forward to take your other subjects too. Thank you very much. Thank you.